Well, coming up in today's episode, man, we got to talk about this NBA free agency, and we got to talk about all this stuff surrounding around Jaylen Brown. We all know Jaylen Brown is a NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, Finals MVP, and Jaylen Brown was on pace and in the running to be an MVP candidate last year when Jason Tatum was out, and then Jason Tatum, slowly got back. And Jaylen Brown, his MVP, notion kind of slipped away. And now Jaylen Brown has been traded from the Boston Celtics to the Philadelphia 76ers. And it's a lot of things surrounding around this whole situation. And we've heard the constant back and forth between Jaylen Brown and Stephen A. Smith. Now Colin Cowherd wants to jump in the mix, and Jaylen Brown is having no parts of it. And Jaylen Brown has absolutely dismantled them and destroyed them over their fake sources and fake narratives. And we're going to talk about it coming up right after this.
It's go time. Stand up. Simply ball dropping. Let go. Can't stop the man behind the mic, bring you the heat. The hottest podcast on these YouTube streets. Breaking all down as you already know. Sit back, relaxing and enjoy the show. Covering all the topics and the breaking news from the WNBA, NBA. Whatever we choose, NFL topics, we bring no receipts. Giving you facts over your feelings, even if you disagree. Can't stop the man behind the mic. Running the show, simply ball dropping, podcast you already know. Tell a friend to tell a friend as we set these trends. The hottest show on your screen, so let the discussion begin. Hit that subscribe and turn your notifications on and get on the wave, cause you are gonna want more. So drop a like and comment on the video. KSAP up in the building, so let's go.
Well, guys, man, Jaylen Brown has had enough, man. He's getting tired of people slandering his name and putting out false reports and false narratives. We all know Jaylen Brown, man. He's one of the top 10, top 15 players in the NBA, one of the top two-way players in the NBA, where he can get it done offensively and defensively. Saw what he did against Dallas Mavericks in the championship, where he just handled Luka Doncic's 94 feet. And that was majority of the keys to victory, because he told Mazzulla, do not take him out unless Luka comes out. He wants to accept the challenge. He wanted to guard Luka the entire game, and that's what he did. And eventually that led to a championship for the Boston Celtics, and that earned Jaylen Brown Finals MVP. And now it comes, Jason Tatum gets hurt a year ago, and Jaylen Brown still had the Boston Celtics in tops of the Eastern Conference division. And Jason Tatum, came back and they got bounced out in the playoffs. But there's always been this notion around Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Are they really friends? What's going on with their friendship? Are they jealous of each other? But you got to understand something. Jaylen Brown was drafted by the Boston Celtics. He was homegrown. When I say homegrown, is he grew up as a Boston Celtics when he was drafted. He put a lot into the city, put a lot into that community. He did a lot of things. And, Jaylen Brown, coming from an Ivy League school, Jaylen Brown is very intelligent. He is smart. So a lot of people saying, Jaylen Brown, his intelligence, rubs some people the wrong way. And I think it has rubbed Stephen A. Smith the wrong way. And I think it's rubbed Colin Cowherd the wrong way. Colin Cowherd has went out on several occasions saying that Jaylen Brown thinks he's the smartest in the room. But he got traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. And that trade for Paul George, no disrespect to Paul George, but Paul George and Jaylen Brown are not on the same level. Jaylen Brown is 29 years old. Paul George is 36 years old. I think Jaylen Brown is going into his 11th year in the season. 11th year in the NBA, and Paul George is going into the 16th or 17th year. And to trade him, it's almost like everybody's saying it was just a swap. But also they threw in a couple first round picks, a trade swap, and things like that, and some second round picks. But the trade Jaylen Brown from Boston into the division, into Philadelphia, it's more behind it. It's personal. And Jaylen Brown just wanted some answers. Now they're trying to assassinate his character by saying all kinds of things, talking about he was a cancer in the locker room. You heard what Stephen A. Smith said. You know, when they lost in the finals, he got on his Twitch streams talking about just probably one of his best seasons, funnest seasons. And I don't know if Stephen A. was saying, is he taking a slight shot or knock at Jason Tatum? But him and Stephen A. Smith been going back and forth. And Stephen A. Smith, like he always does, wants to, break people down, you know what I'm saying, black athletes and things like that. But, they got into it before, and Jaylen Brown was always like, man, cite your source, man, your fake sources. So Jaylen Brown, in that sense, man, Jaylen Brown is pissed off. So he had a few things that he wanted to say to Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith, man. Y'all take a listen to what Jaylen Brown had to say, man, and just pay attention, man, because he makes sense, man. Just pay attention.
Colin Cowherd, I think his last name precedes him.
Stay away from it. You need PR. Brad Stevens is getting crushed. The GM. They obviously wanted Jaylen Brown out of the building. Jaylen Brown, I had two NBA sources tonight. Two people in the league.
Two people in the league.
One an executive, one a scout. Say that Jaylen.
One an executive, one a scout. So these are the people that are working within the league.
Brown it's a disease.
I have a disease, an illness. Look at his face when he said it. I have a disease. Like, I could say so much about this.
He suddenly thinks he's the smartest guy in every room he's in. I've worked with people in the media. It's really, you get into a really bad space.
But chat, hear me out on this. Hear me out. You know what I mean? Like, I get the whole intelligence thing. Like, personally, I think intelligence is like relative. Like, there's different forms of what intelligence looks like: creative, divergence. There's like being able to adapt. Intelligence is to adapt to change. There's so many different forms of intelligence. Whatever you value is whatever you value. I never told anybody like, look, I'm the smartest person in the room. That may be how they took it. But let's keep it a buck. Like the in sports, no offense to everybody in sports, but the bar is fucking low. You know what I mean? Like the bar isn't that high. So I think that's what people need to take into consideration. It's like, okay, he's one of the smartest athletes, but like a lot of athletes and like, you know what I mean? How high is the bar really? You know what I mean? No, and that's no diss. We got a lot of smart athletes. We got a lot of intelligent people that do a lot of very different things with their time. And then there's some people who don't. And I'm very aware of that too. So taking into account the amount of damage that rumor could do, but they don't even know if it's true or not. It's just a source. And then when you say something, because it's not basketball related, these sources, it wasn't basketball. This is beyond basketball. That's so I would have been cool if, like, these dudes, they be mad when I stand up for myself and I push back. But motherfucker, you're not talking about basketball. You coming at my character. You coming at my character right now. Yeah. You saying my intelligence is a disease. Stephen A. Smith said a source that I'm not marketable. You know what I mean? All this different type of stuff. You talk about my stream and who's coming on my stream and who's not coming on my stream. You know what I mean? What does this have to do about basketball?
Facts.
So that's where the line gets crossed. And then when you stand up for yourself, when you say something, they gaslight you and manipulate you like you being too sensitive. No, you creating a narrative about me that's not true, motherfucker, and I'm not here for it.
Now you heard what Jaylen Brown had to say, man. He's standing 10 toes down, man. And that's a fact, man. That's a fact that when you start doing stuff like that, assassinating people's character, and that's what I've always told people, man. If you critiquing somebody about their sports, about their game, that's different, man. But like Jaylen Brown, you're assassinating his character, man. You're assassinating his character, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe on the video, man. Also, man, I like the fact that Jaylen Brown broke that down to let you know about these anonymous sources, man. He said they're fake. anonymous sources are fake because they your own sources. When you say anonymous sources and top executives around the league, he said that's cliche. That's letting people know that you're talking about these are your own sources. These are your own sources that you're referring to. These are stuff that you're making up. So it's no credibility in that. And that's why he's calling them out on their fake sources, man. That's why he's always told Stephen A. Smith, if they're so credible, cite your source. But I know in media that you don't want to give up your sources. Sources are everybody's opinions. And Jaylen Brown is getting tired of it. He said, man, y'all assassinate my character. Colin Cowherd just said that Jaylen Brown was a cancer. And that's the reason why Boston traded him. A lot of top executives in the league and all this stuff, y'all putting out these false rumors, and it gets into the organization. And once they get traded, then you'll say, oh, I told you he was a cancer in the locker room. He was this and that. He's jealous of Jason Tatum and things like that. See, these are the rumors that Stephen A. Smith and them are putting out there. But Jaylen Brown has always called out Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith won't answer the bell. He keeps on saying, he'll invite him any day, but to assassinate his character, not even critiquing his basketball game, but talking about what he's doing after he gets bounced out of the playoff, going on Twitch and things like that, has nothing to do with basketball. You just coming at somebody's character. You're just trying to assassinate somebody's character. And Jaylen Brown was absolutely right for, calling Colin Cowherd out and Stephen A. Smith, man. Y'all get down in the comment section.
I see everyone in the comment section, hashtag salute. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you will know every time I drop a hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that will wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.